Hello fellow presenters. Okay, in this video I'm going to be sharing a lot of personal information with you because I am going to be doing a deep dive into my monthly outgoings. What do I spend per month to keep myself afloat and affording to live in London and run my freelancer businesses and disciplines? What are my outgoings? And hopefully this will give somebody that's contemplating living in London an idea as to the kind of fees that they might incur, or ideas about where they might be able to do better, or things that they think, you know what, actually I could avoid that, so I don't know what he's doing there. And maybe you might give me some suggestions or comments, so forth, but be kind, please. And hopefully just support each other in our journeys. Anyway, let's start with the big one. Okay, so this is spanning the 2023 to current year in 2024. The big one is my rent. Okay, the rent for my tiny studio that I live all in one room with a pull down bed and a desk which flaps out from the wall. This is not where I'm speaking from now. Now, when I moved in mid-March 2021, I was paying £800, and that was when it was a bargain because lots of people had left because of COVID, and I had that rate for about 2 years. Then I had a steep rent increase to £950, and I was told that the rent would be going up to £1,100. So there you go, but I'm going to keep the figure at the moment for as 950. Okay, just for our kind of overall cost of what it costs me to live in London. Council tax, I do get the single person's discount. Let's put that at £100 a month. It's slightly less, maybe 95, but I'm just going to put that at £100 a month. Which is a lot, because if you think about, if you're renting a room in a house share, you can split the council tax between you, so that's another big cost there. TFL spend, so what I spend going around for different jobs and so forth. What I've done is I've averaged different months, and sometimes I'll try and walk where I can. I might get the bus in the evening because there's less traffic. And also I live within zones 2, and I often get to travel off peak, so it's not as high for many, although if people are able to cycle, that this might be somewhere where they can save. But I've got that here as 145. Technically 144 is what's going on the spreadsheet, but there you go. I'll just say as 145 for you guys. Now, heating, this is a big one, and electric. Even though it's one room, it is quite high per month. I would say it's about £70. Heating's gone up a lot because actually this is on a prepaid meter. It's not, you pay a certain amount a month, so the cost of it actually is a lot higher. Also, I don't have gas. The heating is all via electric, and I'm somebody, I do try to be really economical, but when in the winter months, when I come back home in the evening, it is cold, I'm still wearing a coat. That's one of the downsides to living in the studio, even though it's in a lovely location, really convenient for transport links and everything. So when you put the electric heater on, or you put electric fan on, it really does rinse gas and juice. So heating, that's 70. Obviously it's less in summer months, but that hopefully gives you an idea. Now, my mobile phone bill. At the moment, I pay £18 a month. I've got a really good deal on that, actually. Initially, it was about £30, but I renegotiated with EE. Took a few attempts, but basically saying, look, I don't feel valued because you keep putting my cost up. It went up to 33, then it put up to 35, and then I basically looked at a price comparison website and I quoted that for them because there were some networks offering unlimited data. And I've gone for unlimited data because I tether on my phone, even when I do like Zoom meetings and so forth. So I don't have the cost of broadband, so that £18 covers both. What else? I've also got, now this is something, I'm on Samsung Finance. £40 a month. I'm not particularly proud of this. So what this is I've got a new Samsung phone. I had my phone snatched, which was really annoying. And I spoke about this actually in a previous video. One of the things that I had to do was get a new phone when my phone was snatched. And what I wish I had done was just go to somebody go to somewhere like We Exchange, buy it secondhand. Or actually what I should have done was just had a really comprehensive insurance. But anyway, I bought this new Samsung phone because I do believe I need a high-powered phone, because my phone is like my walk-around computer and I get a lot of emails done on the go and so forth. And I wanted a fast, efficient phone with a good camera, good quality. So I bought this phone outright. Well, not outright, but with Samsung Finance. So I have 0% interest, so that's a perk. I've got this smartwatch as well, which means that I can record this remotely and try and look at messages on my phone. So it just adds another safety barrier for protecting myself with my phone. That's really important to me as well. Any trick, because the phone thieves are rife. I now often, just via habit, wear my phone around my neck, because we've got a crisis really with crime. So that's another thing. So that's £40 a month, and also it includes insurance as well if I lose my phone. So that's really important. What else do I have? Okay, gym. I'm a member of my local government council gym. I think it's important, because particularly when we live in small spaces in London, to have a space, health is wealth. I've got that for £35 a month. Now that includes a key workers discount, which is, I think, something like 20%. So it's something, because I teach at one of the universities. So that's great that I have that. You could actually do better on gym if you wanted gym, perhaps if you went to one of the other chains like Anytime Fitness, The Gym Group and so forth. But those leisure centres are actually much closer to me, and I think I look at that. And also it's got a swimming pool, which is great as well for variation. There is an annoying thing that they close early on a Saturday and Sunday at like 6 p.m. I think they're trying to push that to 8 p.m. I hope so. And also, I have to say, they've got something which kind of annoys me, which is like a women's only gym. I'm not against the concept, but what it means is the hours that they do that, it prohibits us from being able to use it, rather than just designate a separate area for that, which is what they did before. Anyways, I digress. There you go. Netflix, £8 a month. What else do we have? Sorry, no, Netflix is £10 a month. Now, groceries. What I've done is I've averaged different spends over different months. I try to be somewhat frugal here, and I don't do massive sort of large shops in one go, particularly because of what I can carry. I shop in different supermarkets, but equally I don't try to scrimp on quality either, because it's just something I want to be able to eat well. But also for health, I think it's important to have things like your Greek yogurt I like to have, which often can cost more. I like peanut butter that hasn't got any of the, that's just pure peanut butter. That's not got any of the added sort of salt and so forth. So I do look at things like that, and the added sugars. I try to look for sugar-free products. I try to eat a high-protein diet, so meat can be quite expensive. So I like to also like nicely flavoured foods as well. So on average a month, I've calculated £240. I've seen some people's YouTube videos where they're like, they live and just go to a Lidl at £80. I'm like, wow. But that's also a lot of preparation as well. I do like to go for a lot of convenience. But what I would say is that I don't spend hardly anything on takeouts. If I do, it's sort of with family, and often they pay, like the older family lot. But sometimes I will treat myself to it. I've not put that in the cost. So that's my groceries for the month. Spotify, that's recently gone up. So you're looking at £20 a month. I have the multiple devices one. I need to use that for my work actually, where different people can access it as well, and then I make the playlists. But some people can share that as well. My equity trade union subscription, £13 a month. Spotlight, £15 a month. I hate this company. This is a company that taxes, it's like a tax on actors. You all have to pay it and be registered with some kind of acting agent. It used to be a cost of being on the books of Spotlight, and they would print out this book every year. But there you go. What else do we have? Plutus. This is the card that I use, that I've spoken about in a previous video, that gives me crypto cashback at an enhanced rate. I think it's a great product. It's still a new company. It kind of keeps me a little bit in the crypto space and helps me develop some kind of crypto portfolio, and I find that quite interesting. That's £20 a month. Google Cloud, £1.59 a month, because if my phone's stolen again, I just want to be able to have that. I don't want to lose all of my sentimental memories and so forth. My running club subscription works out to an average of £4.50 a month. I don't pay that every month because it's just paid in the year, but just balance out for the year. Clothes, I've been fairly economical. I've worked out, I think, about £60, but that's everything, when shoes wear out and so forth. I think there is such a thing as a false economy if you always try to go cheaper on things, because they'll break, and then so I try to always go for high value. I'm not always one necessarily about a brand. Equally, I've been quite lucky to get, my mum's quite good at taking in clothes and so forth. My hair, for hair health, not trying to lose hair and so forth. On my hair restoration program, I might speak about that in another video. That comes to £26.98 a month, so we'll say 27. So the last one actually is dental, because actually we often have these costs. I'm very lucky to have an NHS dentist, because that's really hard to get, and I think I spoke about that in a previous video. But I've worked out £16.60 a month, and that includes getting a dental hygienist as well, for every year, but also unexpected things that you might need. So obviously that can fluctuate, but that's kind of what I've allocated for that. So yeah, those are all the different things and that comes to a whopping grand total. So you ready for the total? All of the costs combined come to, you ready for it, £1,812.37 a month. Yeah, that's after tax, living in London. So that's what I pay a month, and that's on without the rent increase as well. So what do you pay a month? What are your different costs and figures? And hopefully that's something for you to think about going forward. I think, in fairness, when you live in cities, your cost of living is going to be higher proportionately. In fairness, though, certain outgoings I have, I think, is quite low. The fact that I spend, my travel is 100, and my travel is £144 a month with TfL, that's quite low. I've not included things on here about entertainment spend, or, if I have a night out or anything like that. This is just my general kind of costs that I have to cover every month, food and so forth. So that's what I've included here. But one thing I will say is that my travel is low, and actually I don't have to run a car. I don't have the insurance and so forth. So whilst my rent might be higher, I don't have that as well. So that's one of the benefits you have in London. I know people talk about, TfL, the costs go up and so forth. But actually, if you live further out of town, if you live outside of Greater London, where buses are much more infrequent, they're a lot more expensive, and they price you based on how far you go on the bus and so forth. You can get on a bus here and literally go on it right to the end and pay just £1.75 at the moment. So that's something where I've cut costs. So yeah, there's a lot there. Those are my kind of outgoings. I've not included much about products as such. I'm quite lucky that my mum owns a skin clinic, so she'll give me certain bits. Obviously there are the bits that I'll get from the supermarket, but I've included that sort of in the groceries cost as well, like shampoo and so forth. So yeah, those are my outgoings. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.